Hey, what's up? So, exciting video today because it's the first time on this channel that I post a video that is about SwiftUI. You've seen the miniature, so you already know the concept of the video. Here is the view that I want us to build together, and we're going to build it piece by piece. But before we start building the view, I just want to show you where the data is actually going to be coming from. So as you can see, to keep things simple, I have created a very simple struct called movie in which I have all the data to actually fill the content of my view, and then I have a global variable that represents the data that I'm going to display on the UI, and that's it. Now using this global variable, we can actually begin and build our UI. Okay, so the first element in the UI is the cover image. So I'm going to paste in the code to build this cover image, and we're going to take a look at it together. So I'm putting the code in a compute property. This way it will be easier to read the code. I'm also going to display it on the preview. And as you can see, this works. It displays the cover image. The code to build that view is pretty simple. We just create an image, then we make it resizable, and we make it scale to fit, meaning that it will take all the place available, but we don't want to crop into the image. Then the next step is going to be to display the thumbnail image. So once again, I am pasting in the code, and I'm also updating the view. So as you can see, the thumbnail is now displayed, and the logic is still quite the same. So we have an image, we make it resizable. This time we use scale to fill because we want to fill the entire circle shape, even if it means cropping into the image. Then we give the image a size. So here I want it to display in a 200 by 200 frame. Then I clip the image to a circle shape. This is how I crop the image in the shape of a circle. Then I create this overlay in order to draw the white border around the image. And finally, I add a shadow around the image. Then the next step is to actually display the text below the thumbnail. So once again, I add the property, I update my view. So as you can see, even though it looks a bit more complex, it's your typical combination of HTAG and VStack, which is a super common pattern in SwiftUI. I'm not going to focus on it too much because I really want to focus on what is the main difficulty in implementing this view, which is how to make the two images display on top of each other. So if you know a bit about SwiftUI, well, the first idea that comes to mind when we want to superpose two elements together might be to use a ZStack. So let's try to do this. So I'm going to create a ZStack, and in my ZStack I'm going to put my background and my thumbnail. And let's see how the preview updates. So we can see that indeed now the two images are being displayed on top of each other. However, remember that I want the thumbnail to be a little bit lower. I want basically the middle of the thumbnail to coincide with the bottom of the cover. So the way to do it would be to use the offset modifier. So using this, I'm going to give an offset to my thumbnail, I'm going to give an offset on the Y coordinate, I'm going to give an offset of 100. So this works, but as we can see, the text is now being displayed over the image. So we need a way to also adjust the position of the image. And here, well, the initial thought might be, well, to also use offset on the text. So let's do it and also use offset of 100. It does work, but we can see that something is kind of wrong. And what's wrong is that, well, the text now needs to know about what has been done in the ZStack above it. And it's not a great way to write our view, because let's imagine that now I add a new text. So for instance, hello world. Well, this new text is also going to be displayed above the other text. And I'm also going to have to add an offset of 100 in order to carry over the offset of the thumbnail. And definitely we can imagine that if for every new view we need to carry over this offset, well, it's quickly going to become unmanageable. So we definitely don't want to use this solution. And here, the good way to solve the issue is actually to use padding. So on this stack, I'm going to add a padding. I'm going to add a padding on the bottom, and it's going to be a padding of 100. And when I do this, what I'm doing is that I'm kind of compensating in the way that I'm saying that, okay, well, since my thumbnail is being drawn 100 points outside of the frame of my ZStack, well, I'm going to give my ZStack 100 points in its padding. This way, as we can see, this time it works much better. And what's the most important is that this time we don't have to apply any modifier to our text in order for it to be displayed correctly. So this is a pretty good solution to build this view. But as it turns out, it's even possible to go simpler and to completely get rid of the ZStack. So I'm going to get rid of all of this code. So now we are back to just having a VStack, and what we can do is that we can directly apply an offset on the thumbnail in the VStack. This time I'm also going to apply an offset on Y, but it's going to be a negative offset because this time I want the thumbnail to display, well, higher than it is already. So it's minus 100. So you can see that indeed the thumbnail is now displaying where I want it to be, but the text is a little bit too low. So I must compensate for this offset. I'm once again going to do this using the padding method. So I'm going to add a padding on the bottom, and it's going to be a padding of minus 100. This way I have compensated for my offset and my view is displaying just as I expected. And what's super nice is that this time I didn't need to introduce a Z-stack. I could just use my V-stack, use modifiers on the thumbnail in order to say that, well, I want the thumbnail to display over the background image. And that's all for this first video about SwiftUI. For my first video, I really wanted to take this example on how to display two images, one on top of the other with some content on the bottom, because I think it's a pattern that is actually quite common in iOS app. And so at some point or another, when you write SwiftUI, you're going to have to implement something that looks like this. Of course, as you can imagine, I'm super curious about your feedback on this new content on the channel. So if you have any suggestion on how to improve the video, please let me know in the comment. Thank you for watching this first video about SwiftUI, and see you next time.